Welcome back, everybody. And before we get our next game underway, I get to talk to Krepo a little bit about playing supports. So the first question everyone wants to know is like, what's a support do, man?
Basically, you have to work around with no means at all and be as annoying as you can. So you have no creep score.
Right.
You're designated water. Like, you don't even get to buy items, but you still have to annoy people and get in their face and basically make everybody's life easier. So if I'm not doing anything, I'm standing in a brush, I can watch top lane and I can just say like, Wicked, you're about to get ganked. And sometimes I call it before he sees it and then it's good. I just try to help everybody as good as I can.
So you think it's also the support player's job a little bit more to maybe watch the minimap a bit more? Are you like the second jungler in communication for the team?
Basically jungler's playing against AI and I'm in my brush on my lane if I'm not zoning people. So we both have more time to look at options because AD carry, like top and mid, are obviously occupied with CSing and dodging ganks, and we have way more time to set up plays. We can open our chat, look at our timers and say, okay, that's spawning in 1 minute, that's in 2 minutes, then Drake, and we can basically map up a route, and then we can ask our players like, Frog, are you ready? Do you need a base? When do you need a base? Can you base now? Wicked, do you want to push that up, disappear, and go for Drake? And of course, it's not always me doing that, but I should be doing more, and if they want to do it themselves, that's welcome, but it's not necessary.
Okay, so especially with supports in solo queue, if they like ever take a kill in lane, they usually get raged at.
Yeah.
There are pros and cons that you were talking about of supports either getting farm or getting kills. What are those?
Well, basically, it started off with Zyra. You could get a lot of CS on Zyra. You used to take like 30 or 40 CS in lane, and then I would go AP, and then you have a secondary AP player. And also, a kill on a support is better than no kill at all.
Yeah.
So I don't really care. Also, additionally, if you want to ignite on support, if you're looking for exhaust and ignite on lane,
right.
why would you put the ignite on the AD carry? Why not give him an exhaust so he can defend against himself if a bruiser jumps on him in a team fight? I can be that ignite guy. I can ignite him. Sure, I might take the kill, but if they're dead, they're not getting creeps, and we're still winning out.
Yeah, so that's often why you probably see like Gambit Gaming would be the prime example. Edward is the guy who steals more kills than almost everyone else. So what would you say that like separates your support style from like someone else who plays support?
There's different like support styles. There's aggressive, and then there's like passive. Then there's people that always go into 2v1s as well. Like you have some players that really love going into 2v1s lanes. I prefer like laning 2v2 actually more than 2v1 because I need to work a little on my 2v1.
Yeah.
Because in 2v1 it's just not only being there and pushing up and pushing back. It's really about zoning. It's all about stepping forward when the guy wants XP, not only the CS. Because you can deny CS, but if you give him all the experience, he's still like gonna outlevel you. And when he hits 6, he's gonna kill you because you're a support with no items, level 4. And he'll be level 6. So you need to contest everything you can, keep him on the same level as you are, and it's a different dynamic. I prefer playing 2v2.
Yeah, so this is actually something I want to dive into a bit more, is that 2v1 lane setup, because it's something that's taken over in the competitive scene. And I honestly, every time something takes over in competitive, it slowly filters its way into high-low solo queue and then all the way down the ladder. So do you have any like tips for 2v1 lanes? Like the things you've learned at the very start of the 2v1 laning phase, what you see people do wrong frequently, how you destroy people in 2v1 lanes, stuff like that?
It basically started with World Elite. When we were in Korea, they started it. They put 2 people on top lane to dodge a bad matchup in 2v2 bottom because bottom got the golems. So you don't want to fight a golems bot lane. So you switch it up, you get a, then you take, if you know you're going to switch it up, you take a top farmer that's good with low CS, like a Malphite. If you get a Malphite with 40 creeps, doesn't matter, he still has ulti, and he can still nullify an AD carry.
Okay.
And then you go 2v1 top with like a double range support AD carry that just pushes the tower really well. Doesn't matter. Like and then if you compare like, say you want to dodge playing against a Misfortune, and you're playing Kog'Maw, and you're on equal farm, obviously the Kog'Maw is going to gain out. And you can dodge bad matchups, force people in bad matchups themselves, like keep artificially low farm on their top laner, and then just push towers. You can call for your jungle to come on lane, push it in, go around, dive, or like then counterplay. Predict it that they're doing that. There's so many mind games going on.
So how do you, with all the mind games, how do you know which one to do? Like what lanes, if say you have a Thresh and Misfortune lane, does it depend who you're 1v2ing against, or do you always play that 2v1 lane in the same way?
It all depends on how they're playing. If he goes close, some people go close for the first 2 creeps, and if you can put a hook in their face, it's done. Yeah, you go in, you zone him. Even if I take a tower shot, he has to base. And it all depends. Sometimes your lane randomly pushes, and you can freeze him. But if you freeze him too long, then your tower at the other side of the map might go down. It's all just reacting on what to do. And 2v1 is a lot more reactive than the stale 2v2 lanes. That's why there's so much room for growth in there.
Right, so what do you, well, thank you very much for the 2v2 lane setup. And I got one more question for you. Like, what would you say your favorite support is to play nowadays?
Fresh for sure. and I didn't get to play much in the beginning. So Edward took like the Fresh Prince / King meme. So and also Elise, I've been loving it. I played it with Yellow Pete in solo queue. First time I ever played Elise, and I was like, there's so many buttons I can press. Like I can do so many things even if I don't have items because of the multiple forms. So definitely fresh in Elise.
Yeah. So I could probably want to talk to you about support all day, and I might continue to talk to you after. But we have games to play. We got the LCS still going on. Shox is ready on stage. Let's send it over to her.